Ah, the infamous trophy room. And you will be doing the acrobatics to enter, Winston, yes?
Miss Croft did enjoy her little games. And here it is, gentlemen. The artifact which led to the animosity between Miss Croft and Von Croy, ending ultimately in this terrible business.
Okay, Miss Croft, I'm presuming by the lack of communication that you're in position, facing the Von Croy Industries building, right? Containing our little prize, the Iris?
Affirmative.
Right. Now this is what you're good at, yeah? Time to switch roofs.
Switch roofs? Easy to say from the ground floor, wouldn't you agree?
Come on now, stiff upper lip, top hole and all that. Time to get hip with Zip.
Gone.
Yo! Jimi Hendrix is back! Laura! You there, Laura? Croft, you getting this?
Blimey.
Jeez, now that was a blast. What the hell happened?
Never mind, Yankee. I'm going in. I'm in.
Okay, now let's see what you can do. Follow the vent to the main corridor. You come in at the 13th floor. Unlucky for some.
Unlucky for them. Any welcome party?
That's your job, girl. I ain't no X-ray vision superhero.
I'd noticed the last bit.
Ooh, you are so sharp you're gonna cut yourself. Just remember, the less attention, the better. You dig?
Thanks, but that thought had crossed my mind.
Just making sure you're on the ball, lady.
Enough talk. Contact me if you see anything.
Whew, that girl has got one bad attitude.
No, Zip, you're just insufferable. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 5 Remastered. This is 115 speaking, and I would very much, in this not particularly claustrophobic ventilation duct, like to welcome you to the 13th floor, which is ironically not the 13th but 11th level of the game. The 13th level is the final level of Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles, so we have 3 more levels within the New York chapter to clear. And if you thought Tomb Raider 3 is difficult, and you thought Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles so far has been kind of a picnic and a cakewalk, you're in for a nasty surprise. Anyway, guys, I love this. This is actually the culmination of Lara's adventures in the way the games were released in its classic engine since Tomb Raider 1, the square-based system. So all the skills you picked up if you played along my Let's Plays along the way, or you did your own run, and you play Tomb Raider 1 to 5, to this point including the expansions, you're gonna use all the skills you learned to make it through these tough-as-nails levels. And the 13th floor is the easiest one, which might actually surprise you that it's gonna get much more difficult. Anyway, guys, in today's level we are gonna get our hands on all 26 goodies, raising the pickups count to 199. We are also gonna land only 15 kills, raising our kills count to 60, but what you actually wanna see in your own run is 59, provided you did not trigger the base kills glitch. And the reason that on the scrolling screen you could have seen us not landing all the kills, well, first of all, there are undefeatable invincible turrets that are gonna shoot at you and you cannot destroy them like you could have in Tomb Raider 3's Nevada. What's more, headshotting is a new feature introduced to the franchise. Well, technically you could already headshot skeletons in the last revelation, but here, if you headshot a human, they are gonna die instantly. The problem is, remasters have also introduced a kills count that does not increase if you headshot human enemies, only if you deplete their health. We're coming back to the same issue we encountered in the last Revelations Lost Library, where destroying the gemstones on the tin soldiers did not increase your kill count. And this is why your kills count will vary depending on what combination of headshots you decide to land. I'm of course gonna play this in a way where we're gonna get the highest number of possible in-game kills. Okay, guys? Now, more details on that. We're also gonna get hands on all 3 secrets, raising our secrets count to 30, and when it comes to breakables, I think there are 8 or 9. You can see on the screen how I decided, so there's a decent variety of stuff we can break inside Von Croy Industries building. Now guys, when it comes to achievements, there are 4 we are gonna unlock today. In this run, I, throughout the level, want to be focusing on the trap is set. So, how we would normally do it, we are going to get our hands on all 3 secrets, but throughout the entire level, we need to avoid getting damaged via laser traps. Again, similar callback to Tomb Raider 3's Nevada. There are going to be very vicious laser traps in here, far more difficult than back there, and we are not to get hit, which is a fun puzzle to solve, and you're going to unlock this achievement after you finish the level, because the game checks if throughout the level, even after getting all 3 secrets, you manage to avoid taking damage. Then, we are gonna unlock Nailed It. Use a hammer to take a shortcut. This is a purely optional pickup and use of said pickup, but the pickup itself is not optional for the Hoarding Order achievement, of course. I'm gonna show you how to unlock this very quickly, and then Dodge This is one of the toughest achievements so far. We'll need to headshot 5 people, particular enemy type, that's VCI guards, in 20 seconds or less. But there is a perfect setup I found for this, which should make it somewhat manageable. And finally, Mission Impossible, guys, this one goes in direct contrast from landing all the kills, getting all the goodies and so on, so we are gonna dedicate an entire separate run just for this achievement. Yep, you will enjoy today's level twice today, which is a little extra bonus from my side. Anyway, enough talking, let's check yet another reset inventory. We are down to 1 large medipack, 3 small medpacks. Headset does the same thing as binoculars, it's what Lara carries on her, which is pretty cool. You can zoom in, zoom out, even illuminate in red rather than green this time. Headset has one additional use just in VCI building. It can see infrared if you illuminate things, meaning you will see some invisible traps. This is gonna become relevant in the 2nd level, and probably the 3rd as well. Then, the only weapon we have is HK gun. Guys, we are forced to do a no pistols run, which is pretty funny. You know how much in certain stages of the game I like to ditch pistols completely to see if the ammunition lasts? Well, in New York, you have to do it, and HK gun is a beauty. So it's very similar to MP5 of Tomb Raider 3, however, with the addition of an actual scope. You can zoom in, zoom out, just like with crossbow or revolver in the last Revelation, and you can shoot. There are 3 firing modes you can choose: sniper, burst, and rapid. See, the thing is, if you want to conserve your ammo, which at the beginning especially you probably do, just go for the sniper. This also increases the damage a single bullet deals. Burst and rapid. Rapid is what you're used to from Tomb Raider 2's M16 or Tomb Raider 3's MP5, and burst is alt. It deals damage more quickly, but makes you shake more violently and decrease your accuracy as a burst mode should. I think I'm gonna play around with all 3 weapon modes today, but outside of the weapon modes themselves, guys, they actually did it. The silencer is here. If you watched my 2023 original version Let's Play series, you know I talked about a silencer mentioned in the game manual that didn't make the cut to the New York levels of Tomb Raider 5. And finally, the remasters have re-implemented it back. You can now toggle it on to silence every shot you deal. This is not all that useful, but in some situations it will be, especially for the Mission Impossible achievement. For now, I'm gonna have it on, and I think there's gonna be 1 or 2 situations where I'm gonna take it off. It doesn't make any other difference other than change the sound effect and make your shots not raise alarm instantly. So, for all intents and purposes, always have it on. I didn't notice it decreasing damage or anything like that. Now, one other thing I want to check on the stat screen is we have ammo used at 1411, and if we shoot this ventilation rate, I want to know, yep, yeah, still at 1411. Guys, this is another bug that was not yet addressed since the launch. I was kind of hoping by now it would. Your ammo used count is not gonna increase with the HK gun, and I don't know why. So everything from this point on, I'm gonna have to track manually for the final stat screen. Anywho, guys, let's now keep going through the left path over here. If you want to continue, you need to go to the right, but over here is access to all sorts of goodies that are important as far as secrets and achievements are concerned.
You getting this?
Whoa, baby, I'm getting too much of that. Looks like the Hulk on steroids.
You want to tell me what it's doing here?
Couldn't be sure. I hear that BCI is working on some new suit for the military.
That face.
That sure as mom's apple pie ain't no civilian protection.
Can't argue with that. And the guns?
Well, my picture ain't all that clear, but it looks like low-frequency laser weapons, limited range. If you get in the way of one, they'll have to take you out in a plastic sack.
I get the picture.
Guys, we'll be facing plasma rifle-wielding power-armored enemies. No, this isn't Fallout or Doom 3, this is still the Tomb Raider franchise. Now, you can see that the room that Soldier was in has the first secret of the level, and our objective is to get there from the other side, okay? Now, these guys are the type of enemy that can only be taken down with a headshot, which complicates things somewhat. But let me first worry about the medpack over here. Excellent, Miss Croft, and now... I failed. Holy moly. Well, there goes the Trappist set. Okay, guys, let me see you right back at this spot. Alrighty, guys, let's do this with a little bit more tact, but not too much, okay? But the gloves are off. Oh yes, baby. First, let's crouch, then pick it up, and maybe wait patiently for this. Rolling should get us to the very edge, and let's wait for it to pass above our head yet again before we make a standing jump. You are actually safe on this tile, so you don't need to be in a rush or anything, but just in case. Okay, and be very careful. You will not see it, but there is a laser underneath. Watch for the red light to pass. Excellent. What? That was a bit of a close call. Okay, and now we just need to wait for this again. And we should make it to the very first secret of the level. Now, rolling helps to get out of the way. This vent cannot be shot because you cannot fire HK gun from a crawl space, which is why it politely opened up automatically. And we are extremely lucky that the giant power armor wielding guy is gone. He's also wielding the plasma rifles, which are not gonna one-hit kill you, at least not on normal difficulty. New Game Plus is a whole different story. But you'll want to avoid them nevertheless. Okay, so let's see if we can make it inside quickly enough. Duck and climb immediately, Miss Croft. We have no time to mess around because it's already coming back. See? So it's a little bit stressful, but honestly, figuring these out is still a ton of fun. Now the other side is unprotected and it leads into a small storage. And let's exit forward. Excellent. There is even a little mop and a bucket. Isn't that just absolutely adorable? Anyway, some optional goodies on this shelf over here. We should be getting our hands on a small medpack and some more ammo. And since we don't have pistols, you need every bit of ammo you can get. The left shelf over there is empty, it's just the middle one you want for a small medpack. Let's have it, Miss Croft. And finally, what we actually came here for, an important component of the Nailed It achievement, a hammer. There it is, a key item, purely optional one, you don't need it to progress, but it absolutely helps. Hammer is what we'll use to pry open a lock, which will absolutely count as a breakable object. Oh yeah guys, one other thing I want to talk about is, if you want to switch your ammunition types on the go, you actually need to press the hotkey 1 on the keyboard. And I presume there's a pistols hotkey for the controllers as well, and you can switch to burst, rapid, and sniper like this. It's not 5 as Tomb Raider 3 has taught us for MP5, oh no. This is Heckler & Koch, so let's respect that it's seemingly a different weapon. I'll be honest guys, I'm not a gun aficionado, so I cannot tell. Okay, how far does it actually go? Oh, okay, we can get safely to the ledge over here, and if you're wondering what this is, laser grid, which will actually set Lara on fire. Nasty business indeed. Okay, now don't be too eager to just rush back, because you will find out that there are new laser traps on the return trip. Of course they are, and this is, guys, where I really recommend you save the game. But you know what? I'm gonna be a bit cocky and not do that. Let's see. First of all, I recommend waiting for the top one, get close to it, and now make a jump across the bottom one, roll under the top one, and as soon as it's gone, start climbing before the bottom one hits your legs. This is honestly, as far as laser traps are concerned, probably the trickiest part. I don't struggle as much with the others, okay? So once you made it here, you're good. And over there, oh boy.
You get a spider drop in there, and it's poof.
Find me some way to turn this off.
Don't get your knickers in a twist. I'm on the case.
What I have to work with.
Don't knock it, lady. I'm your eyes and ears.
More of those and less of the lip would be preferable.
Nicely put, Lara. I feel you. Anyway, guys, this is a very nice tease over the very level end. You know how much I love this when they tease you with the final location. It's gonna be even more of a tease when we're gonna be up there, but 3 times the charm when we'll finally make it on the ground floor. Anyway, some optional ammo over here that you should absolutely pick up. Actually, I think this one is even a respawning pile of ammo. But, uh-oh. Oh yeah, decision time, guys. So, do you want all the kills? Or do you want to go through in sneakily for the Mission Impossible achievement? See, guys, I want all the kills, but I also want to show you how to unlock all the achievements. So, at this point is where the playthrough is gonna branch out. First of all, let's unlock Nailed It via breaking open this lock via the hammer we picked up, and get the achievement and increase our Breakables object count. Yay! Something extremely satisfying about that. Oh, one other thing. See the grate over here? This is where we'll enter from if we make a mess of things here. Now, guys, you need to do this if you also want to unlock the Holding Order achievement, because there is a small medbag you can only get if you get into trouble. For now, since this marks the point from which we are officially no longer going to be stealthy, I'm going to make a backup save over on this save slot to reload when we'll be tackling the Mission Impossible achievement. But for now, let me show you what I mean. You'll end a single shot, even with a silencer, the whole vent is gonna collapse. And now... Oh shoot, we were too late. I want to do this without taking damage. But that gives me an opportunity to show you the kills count. We are at 45. Ah, shoot, always so close. Okay, again. Ooh, okay, 2 shots, but that's fine. We have killed the power armor wielder. The problem is, guys, killing them, since it's only possible via headshot and not via depleting their health, because they have infinite health, does not increase your kills count. And this is very, very annoying indeed. But it's something I'm gonna try and address when we finish the game, don't you worry. So anyway, now that you've collapsed, you can climb into the opposite end of the vent, although a lower part of it. We're actually under the vent we were originally in. Oops, okay, well, that was a bit painful. If we were to make it across here, we would return to this room. But I'm glad we didn't take any falling damage for now. There should be an explosion. Oh my god, okay, let's pick up the small medpack. And this small medpack is why you must shoot inside that corridor and finish off that guy for the Holding Order achievement. Otherwise, you'll miss a pickup, and that's simply unacceptable. So, before we even touch the ladder, let's get some extra ammunition over here. Okay, and we are no longer sneaking, strictly speaking, but that means we can just go on a killing and crime spree. Item collecting. What on earth was that, Lara? I'm holding action, and she starts the jump up animation, but she doesn't hold the ladder? I had no idea that's possible, but there you have it. Okay, so stay on the right, the most right side, and now try moving upwards, and by the time the laser is back, you should be up where it cannot reach Lara's legs. Thank goodness gracious. It looked a bit bad for her right leg there for a while. The problem is this door doesn't open, so the bullet holes over here are a bit of a hint. Yeah, even in the OG, even more visible. And a lovely breakable object. Inside, I want to introduce you to yet another unkillable enemy after we pick up the ammunition over here. And that enemy is right above us. My friends, whenever you see, and maybe let me show it to you via a headset. Whenever you see... Oh, it's dark even when we turn the infrared on. Okay, let's do this with the photo mode. And turning on a light. Whenever you see a hatch like this, this means there's a turret. Turrets are only activated if the security personnel have a say in that. So, if you start shooting next to people, hostile or otherwise, turrets will come down to lay divine vengeance on you. Be very careful. One other thing I want to show you, which is also why I'm going to save the game right over in this corridor, is how you can approach enemies. So, if you don't care about the kills count, you can headshot the guards over here, and your kills count is going to be unchanged, just like with the power armor wielder, okay? If, however, you alert the guy over here, he's going to run back to a panel, and the turret I talked about is going to start shooting. This is something we want to avoid, and these turrets, Lara doesn't even aim at them, are unkillable. These are not Area 51's turrets, these are much better. It's private, not government sector, after all. So what I actually recommend doing, if you're interested in all the kills and avoiding an already unkillable turret, is to first make it down here. And now I think I'm gonna go with... Let's keep it silenced, but let's go with burst mode. And let's kill this fella via shooting his legs. If you do it this way and actually decrease the health, your kills count will indeed increase. And that's the name of the game here, okay? Now, if you want to continue the level, you'll need to insert a CD disc and enter a vent. We do not have the CD, okay? Also, notice the lights over there. You walk through them and you're gonna be a toast. So instead, let's go around the vending machine, and there's nothing in the corner behind the vending machine or anything like that. And over here, we'll need to destroy another grate. I do recommend having the silencer on here because we're actually not alone.
Check it out, man. No regard for company security. Sleeping like a baby. Somebody could just glide in and slide that ID card out from under his nose. Somebody's...
Well, sorry Zip, but I'm done listening to you. We're gonna do exactly what you said, and that is swipe that card. You can approach it from the side, get your hands on it. If you use the walk key, you're not gonna wake him up, and as a result, he is not gonna summon the turret that's right over here, okay guys? Notice that there is a love story book over here, a gun, a thermos and a breadbasket, and Tomb Raider editor showing the toilet section from, I think, Escape with the Iris level. Oh, that's such a lovely self-insert. Okay, good job, Remasters. And I think this deserves a picture for our collection, but first let's get out of the way. One of the reasons we nicked the card, which says high level access card, but I don't think the letters are readable, is to get into the storage with ammunition and a small med pack, okay? But it's not mandatory to go into this storage, but it absolutely helps. But first of all, let's do this. I want to show the love story book, I want to show his face, I want to show the computer screen. There we go, lovely. So anyway, keep walking, and as soon as you transition into the storeroom, you don't need to walk anymore. You can just run freely without waking him up. There we go, a small medipack, and I think this shelf contains 2 items. And this is a solid proof, for the first time ever in the game, that you only need to search once to get all the items a shelf contains. There's never a reason to search multiple times, although, strictly speaking, I don't think I've tested that on New Game Plus, so yeah, there's that. Now guys, there is an important thing to keep in mind. This guy is asleep, you can absolutely finish him off with a headshot and move on. If you do that and are still interested in all the kills, not only can you not use a headshot, but if you actually wake him up and he's alive for even a second, he's gonna summon another friend from behind here. There is just a suggestion of a card reader over here, but it actually doesn't work. It's just to show you where his body will appear from if you wake him up. Furthermore, this is the time to talk about the Dodge This achievement. One shot 5 VCI guards in 20 seconds or less. Okay, this concerns this guard over here, a guard that will appear over here, that's 2 guards for floor 13, and using the elevator over here, we can access floor 16, which contains 3 more guards. Follow the steps I'm gonna tell you, okay? This is very important. First, without waking this guy up, enter the elevator over here, and Lara's automatically gonna press the 16th floor button, which is the highest one, I think. Now, as you approach, there is a little cutscene. It's gonna show two guards chilling and talking to one another. Immediately turn back and walk to repress the button. You don't want to alert those guards yet. And the reason we went down and up again was just to trigger that camera flyby, because that camera flyby will make dodge this achievement quite difficult unless you already got rid of that camera angle. Now, what I recommend doing is removing the silencer. You want to make as much noise as possible. And I recommend the sniper mode because we need to be dealing 5 headshots in 20 seconds or less. Okay, so we have the sniper mode. Let me save the game here. And now guys, important thing, do not kill the guy sleeping there or his buddy. Just wake him up. He's gonna summon a turret, then his friend on the other side of the corridor, already creeping in. What you wanna do is start with the 3 soldiers over here. Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. I hesitated there for a sec and they dealt a lot of damage. But now we immediately need to go up via 1 floor and deal with these jabronis. And you need to make every shot count. There we go. Dodge this. 1 shot 5 VCI guards in 20 seconds or less. So this was a bit convoluted setup, and you can see that waking this fella up also summoned the turret over here, but through this bulletproof glass it cannot get to us. It also conveniently removed the trap in this corridor. Okay guys? So remember, do not wake him up, go 1 floor down, trigger the cutscene, go immediately up, then wake him up, go 1 floor down, kill the 3 already alert guards, then make it back here and kill the 2 alert guards. That's the best way I found of pulling this achievement off. The problem with this is our kills count has of course not increased because these are headshots. So let me instead show you how I like to deal with this. Okay, so back here, what I recommend is switching to rapid fire mode. Let's wake this fella up and kill his buddy over on the opposite side. Excellent. And now let's just hope we do not by accident land a headshot. Excellent. Let's do a quick check. We are at 48. Brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Now, these guys don't drop anything, and we no longer need to access the storage, anything like that, so we don't worry about the turret. This had the consequence of alerting the 3 guards downstairs, so actually these fellas should be lined up nicely. Let's play around with burst. As you can see, the scope is shaking violently, but what matters is that each of these will count as an in-game kill. Let me show you the proof. 51. Isn't this a thing of pure and utter beauty? So we got dodge this achievement and we managed to land all the kills via a separate run through these corridors. Excellent. Now, let's keep moving onwards. We are on the 16th floor, which, well, to my eyes, that looks like the exact same diagram, but with a different number, but okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure that is the Iris room over there. What we need to do now is use the keycard we swiped, not just for the optional storeroom, but for the lab over here. Yeah, it's sometimes difficult to tell which card goes where. It's a bit of a trial and error. Now, you can enter this room and not turn these workers hostile. These fellas are just doing their job, so to speak. They are not hostile to you, and they do not fight back if you decide to kill them. The problem is, it's me playing, guys, and I want all the kills. But first of all, let's be careful how we handle this. You want to press this button. This is gonna summon a very cool hologram of the Iris, but it's not as cool as seeing the real thing in Lara's mansion in Tomb Raider 3, of course. And also, I guess we get to admire that the Iris has 3 outer shields protect the central crystal, material origins unknown, outer shield, inner shield, center shield, Von Croy Industries. I think what's happening is that Iris is some sort of teleportation artifact, as we're gonna find out later, I think in the following level. And that's why it was originally in Tomb Raider 4 enveloped in a world globe room and a giant chocolate orange, essentially, showing the world of the entire map. Maybe even in ancient times people figured out how to activate its teleportation powers, and Von Croy Industries is now in modern times trying to do the same. Well, modern times, 1990s, but you get my drift. Anyway, guys, if you go gun blazing, the workers will have enough time to summon the turret over here, which is yet another unkillable enemy. So the way I recommend you handle this, if you want all the kills, is, let's go to sniper mode. if you aim at them, they're gonna kneel down and beg for mercy. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm in it for the kills. Furthermore, you could already hear the sound of a turret appearing. Yep, there it is. I don't want to give it any chance to kill us. And for this guy, I think we'll need to shoot his Achilles heel to deal damage. Oh, there it is. I see the blood splatter. Excellent. And our kills count has increased to 53. We no longer ever need to enter that room, and none of the scientists drop anything. Okay, guys? So, let's go down into this corridor that was patrolled by one of the 3 already dead guards. And because we pressed the hologram button, this door is open. And again, we are teased with the iris. We are now not next to it, but above it. But we still have a long way to go to reach that room. I think this is pretty neat. Inside is a scientist minding his own business. You can press multiple buttons, those that aren't red colored but grey. And they're gonna essentially give Lara access to those hazmat suits they're wearing. But Lara doesn't want the hazmat suits, she just wants the CD these scientists carry for some extra access. And as luck would have it, one of them left it in his suit over here. Probably one of the fellas we killed. Anyway, this right here is access code disk. Yeah, they weren't very creative with the name. And over here, a door that will not open. Now again, if you're interested in all the kills, there's a scientist here. And of course, if you're interested in the in-game skill count, don't headshot them. Do this instead, okay? You're also gonna conserve your ammo if you use the sniper mode, which is excellent. And I just realized we still haven't reattached the silencer. You know what? I'll do it when the time is right. I want to enjoy the sweet sound this gun makes for now. I'm a bloodthirsty bastard, aren't I? Okay, so let's go back from 16th to 13th floor, which is not at all counterproductive, as you might think, because now with the CD in our hands, we can ignore the turret that can shoot us through the bulletproof glass. We can go around the corridor, since the laser trap is gone, and insert the disc over here. And boy, this makes me nervous.
Okay, Twinkle Toes, tread carefully, because I'm picking up some weird signals from in that area.
How weird?
Weird enough to make Quasimodo look normal.
That weird? I'll see what I can find.
I love that the mention of Quasimodo just made Lara go, that weird! Like, that's the moment she started taking Zip seriously. Not when he dropped name Jimi Hendrix, no, when he mentioned Quasimodo. Okay guys, I'm gonna save here. I hope you'll forgive me because I'm not so sure about this one. Okay, so the moment we enter this vent, there's gonna be an explosion going through it, which is why you need to wait there for a sec. But the timing is weird. Sometimes it continues, sometimes it's proximity based, and I can never tell. Anyway, backhopping over here will give you access to the second secret. Any explosions down there? Not anymore. Excellent. Let's please quickly go through here before it comes down back on us. Oh yes, baby. And now we're in a particularly interesting area which serves to illustrate 2 different approaches we can take. I actually like this room.
Uh-oh, you're gonna have to play some fancy moves to get past this quarterback.
You got any suggestions? Anything to distract him?
I got a suggestion right here. Go find a different way out, because you don't want to know what happens when you make the Hulk mad.
Indispensable information as always.
That face ain't got armor on it, right? Well, that's how you're going to have to do it. You one hard-boiled lady. Now, you'll think of something.
What exactly am I hiring you for?
My extraordinary knowledge of security systems and my unsurpassed skill in cracking them. Not to mention my ineffably addictive personality, baby.
You're right. I won't mention it.
That sounds like a good idea, Lara. Did he have to say baby? I think Zip is just doing this to piss us off. Anyway, guys, watch out for the music trigger, but don't worry, you can still run. You don't have to walk through this corridor, okay? Now, you will have noticed that amongst the many treasures we found in this sci-fi facility is a piece of cloth. Yep, this is gonna be an important part of a stealthy takedown technique. I'm not sure whether I want to show it necessarily now or when we tackle the Mission Impossible achievement. You know what? I'm gonna save this for Mission Impossible. So, first of all, now I already saved very recently. Let me do it like this. The face, Lara, thank you. And now another one will appear through here. Oh, thank God. And unfortunately, none of these fellas, again, increased our kill count, as is the tradition by now. Oh, I didn't save, so that made me especially nervous, but we nailed that like professionals. So, anyway, let's use our stolen card to access this side storage. Now let me talk briefly now about the alternate way to handle this. First of all, as part of the Breakables count, I'd like to break these jars of some poisonous roaches or something. Ugh, don't even want to know what they're doing there. Makes me think of Scarecrow's gasp from Batman. Always associated with roaches in the Arkham series. Anyway, those jars are fragile. Not just a bullet shatters them, which a bullet should absolutely do, but the moment you enter this room, you are on a timer. And based on how quick you are, these jars will shatter on their own. So you essentially have time to enter and search one of these cabinets to get chloroform and get out before they'll shatter and alert the power armor wielding guy, okay? Why do you need a chloroform? Well, this cabinet contains a bottle of one, along with large medpack. This cabinet over here has another bottle with a small medpack this time. Oh, I guess the jars just shattered again. The game didn't realize they already shattered. Interesting. I guess if there was an in-game breakables count, it would increase. Hard to say. These things can have the cloth dipped into them, and you could have triggered a stealthy takedown of the power armor wielding guy over here. But I'm gonna show that to you in the Mission Impossible run, okay? Just to keep you a little interested and exciting. Okay, so let's insert the car over here. We dealt with the situation in our own way. And now this should be endlessly spawning ammo, because you need ammo to deal with this situation. And if you'll forgive me, I'm gonna save here. Because this is tough as nails. Okay. Whew. And you know what? Whilst this is fine, I want to do this in a way where he's not gonna even fire a single shot. Because this is important practice for the Mission Impossible run. Ah, almost. Okay. Nope. I don't really have time to zoom in, is the problem. Oof. Okay, and this is what we'll need to pull off for the Mission Impossible run eventually. I just wanted to use this as a practice opportunity. Okay, excellent. This guy actually drops another, access code disc? Iris Lab Access. Now that's a way more interesting name. We are getting closer. And look at the screensaver on that green screen with the VCI logo, which is going to split apart into 3 parts when we unlock the door, which is, so satisfying. Love this. Okay, guys, you can pass along safely up until this corner. And now, we don't need to be stealthy, but I recommend it just for the purpose of preserving our health, because if this guard notices us, and thankfully he's not going to notice through the glass, he will summon a turret. Okay, so we want to go as far as we can without him noticing to make it past the corridor without him summoning the turret. Okay, and now let's use this hidey hole. Not to headshot him, we still want to increase our kill count, but let's do burst again. By the way, the worker operating over here cannot be killed. He is behind that glass pane, he's completely oblivious to the rest of the world, just doing his own work, and there's nothing we can do about that, okay? Come to think of it, I haven't yet taken a picture of the guards, so I'm just waiting for him to step into a light. You know what, let's add a light source. That's a bit better. Excellent. And now I like to do this. Ooh, close call.
Now this ain't gonna be easy. This door operates on that pass you got, except it needs 2 inserted at the same time.
Meaning what, exactly?
Meaning, against your better judgment, try not to go killing that guy, 'cause we need him, yeah?
Now guys, this really pains me. What you should be doing, and what I think Lara actually did story-wise, is she took out her gun, started aiming at this fella until he gave up and cooperated and unlocked the door with her. There is a special cutscene for that, and I'm gonna show it to you when we do the Mission Impossible run. However, if you want not just all the kills, because you're a bloodthirsty bastard like me, but also all the secrets, you need to kill him. And that kinda sucks, honestly. What's more, you need to be fast about this, because if you don't kill him fast enough...
Should've known you can't get a leopard to change its spots. you're gonna have to try the not-so-pleasant way now. Through that vent. And while you're going through it, why don't you just have a think about what you've done?
I was about to say, if you don't do it fast enough, Lara, even through the scoped view, will keep aiming at him and the game will interpret it as the peaceful solution. So if you want to kill him and you want the third secret, you need to shoot fast. Okay, now there should be one other guard. Oh, there you are, finally. Your pathfinding sucks. Okay, come here. Wait, he's gone again? Oh my god. Okay, let's stay at this corner. Apparently, that's the only way they can find their way here. Maybe let's even take a step back. See, that sends a positive signal. And let's kill him. Not via headshot, please. Okay. Before making it onwards. Now there is a third one, but we need to get deeper for that. What's more, a turret is aimed right at us. So what I want to do is dive through the gap, as Werner would say. And now deal with an unpleasant gentleman over there. Maybe we can be a bit naughty. No headshot, please. Very careful about that. That will rob us of a kill count. Okay, and now... Oh, there's one over there who should be cut to ribbons via a laser trap. But apparently, the laser trap has some very elaborate IFF system. Okay, we have 9 bullets. I went a bit crazy with the burst mode. Anyway, let's get the third secret, accessible only if you kill the scientist, unfortunately. And now let's wait for this to pass, and that, my friends, was the last laser trap, but the Trappist set achievement does not yet unlock, okay? Now I want to show you something. You can go straight for the iris, but if you so much as sneeze next to it, Lara's gonna be engulfed in flames. We need to shut this thing down, and to make things a little bit more challenging, the whole thing, if you shut it down, is of course on a timer. Yeah, they're not gonna make it easy for us. This is the door we would have entered from if we cooperated with the scientist. But then we wouldn't get the third secret, and where would be the fun in that? So, oh, this is pretty cool. It shows the map of the world. Maybe the locations the iris can teleport people into? Maybe this corresponds with the giant chocolate orange that Von Croy originally found it in? I like to think that. That's pretty neat. Anyway, that's the best theory I've got. Let's now... Ooh, is there something on that screen? It's probably the same information we read on the big screen, but more animated. So anyhow, guys, I want to flick the switch over here, and then immediately run out of this room, make a jump, mid-air roll, and now do not sprint yet. Just make it down slowly like this. Now you can sprint. Oh, what are you? Lara. Okay, we should still be good. We should still be good. Let's pick up the final pickup of the level, the iris itself, and escape with it, the subject matter of the next level. But first, I'd like to check the stats. Or the iris itself. So this is what it looks like. Honestly, it's a little shinier than the original, but not particularly touched up. I don't know, looks kind of unassuming and unimpressive here. Maybe that's the point. What I want to show you is the stats. And my friends, these are absolutely stunning, drop-dead gorgeous stats. Because we have reached the 199 pickups, as we should, so we got all 26 goodies. We have landed 15 kills, raising our kills count to 60, but unless you encountered a glitch in the base level, you should see 59. That is still fine. That means you got all the possible kills without having triggered the glitch. We also raised our secrets count to 30, which is awesome, because we picked up all 3, and our breakables count should have increased to 50 via the 8 breakables we broke. I'm still not sure whether to count the giant collapsible vent, because level geometry I don't really want to count as breakables. We'll see how I'll decide. You guys see the result of my decision anyway. And as far as achievements are concerned, we not only nailed it, we also dodged it, and we are now gonna unlock the trap is set, provided we didn't take any laser damage, which I haven't noticed, to be honest. And then guys, even before I thank my amazing patrons, I'm of course gonna show you how to unlock the Mission Impossible via a separate run through the levels, so be tuned to that. Yay! Okay, you get a sneak peek of the next level just to see the trap is set achievement unlock. Anyway guys, you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna load this save file and use this to unlock the Mission Impossible achievement, because this thing needs a completely separate approach where we are gonna ignore lots of the goodies and enemies. So let's do this now. Alrighty guys, so here we are loading the special save file just after having broken the gate with the hammer. If you haven't done so and you need to reload the whole level again, make sure to go get the hammer in the storage area like I showed you at the beginning of the video and make it back here. Touching the lasers should, I guess, not break our stealth and fail this achievement, but just to be absolutely sure, try not to get hit by the lasers, because we don't really know exactly what the game considers being noticed and remaining unnoticed, what it considers breaking stealth. Nevertheless guys, I'll be honest, I thought I'm gonna hate this achievement, but I had a fantastic time unlocking it. First things first, all I'm gonna go for is to reach the end as quickly as possible. You don't even need to pick up any ammunition on the way, all you gotta keep or is the one you start with, the 36 shots. Honestly, this should take roughly 10 bullets to actually complete, so you'll be fine on the sniper mode, strictly speaking. So, keeping in mind not touching any lasers, that's what I want to maintain over here. Let us get through this ladder without getting hit, and hopefully this timing will work yet again. Oh, Lara, oh, okay, your foot, wasn't sure there. And again, like I said, some of the situations I would personally consider the stealth being broken, some of them I agree with, but I'm just gonna show you what the game requires, okay? We don't need to stop for any bullets, we are fine with... Heck, we already picked some up on our way to the hammer. In this save file, let's kill the guard without being noticed, let's go for the grate. And let's go pay a visit to the Sleeping Beauty. We need his access card, of course. So, this is always awkward. That corner trap will in fact not be disabled, because we are never waking the Sleepy Beauty up.
Out, man. No regard for company
Yes,
security.
Zip, we're gonna interrupt you again. It was kind of an odd placement to put a musical cue here. It doesn't really give Zip enough time to finish talking. The cutscene is actually shorter than his dialogues, but oh well. I guess that's what the New Game Plus video will be for. Now remember, the storage we entered over on our right now is optional. So let's just get out of here. Let's also be careful and make sure we walk not just on the marble floor, but also this single tile over here. If you run here, it already seems to wake him up, but from now on we are fine, and we'll only be coming back once we have the access code disc. So let's go down, and this is, guys, the first awkward part of this Mission Impossible run, where I think this counts as breaking the stealth, but the game doesn't. Anyway, I have a way to verify this in-game whether stealth is or isn't broken. Let's also ensure... Oh yeah, we are silenced. Very good. What I like to do is do this very quickly. And now, as an ultimate test, whether we have or haven't broken stealth, is the behavior of the guy inside this corridor. If we haven't, then he's not running here. He is just patrolling and walking. This means we are still unnoticed. Excellent. Now, let's just make sure it's one-hit KO. Excellent. See, this is how we do it. You just need to be accurate and fast, which is not a problem if you first take your time to zoom in and just use the horizontal axis to change your target and time the way you press action. Okay, inside the lab, since we are not killing the scientists, we don't need to worry about the turret. Again, this is how I think Lara pulled this off story-wise. And after pressing the button, we can now make it to the wardrobe, where the hazmat suits are, and get the level code access disc. Excellent. And honestly, doing this Mission Impossible run, I'm actually glad they didn't ask us this for all 3 levels, just the 13th floor, because shit is gonna hit the fan in the 2nd level. It's incredibly satisfying, and you realize how short the level can be at that point. I guess this also works nicely as a speedrunning technique. Although in a speedrun, you wouldn't make a detour for a hammer and you would not kill but outrun most enemies, but yeah. Okay, and now back to the 13th floor, the titular one. Oh, I just want to show you something. See the numbers? They don't actually correspond with the floor, they didn't go quite that far. And the numbers themselves were higher definition in the OGs than they are in the remasters. Yeah, that console, didn't get a particularly good treatment. Anyway, the corner trap is still set, see? So we actually need to go through the vent, which is mildly annoying, but that's fine. Okay, and now let's enter the disc and enter this exploding shaft, which I absolutely do not like, but we don't have to go for the secret this time.
Tread carefully, because I'm picking up some weird signals from in that area.
How weird.
Careful.
Weird enough to make Quasimodo look normal.
that weird.
Okay, there's a Quasimodo line.
Fine.
Let's keep going down. That triggers the rest of the explosions. I think I've seen something exploding up there, so this is our cue to go. Excellent. Well, it's easier to navigate if you don't go for the secret, of course. And now, guys, where this run is going to differ from our previous run most is this room. And I can't wait to show this to
You're
you.
gonna have to play some fancy moves.
Lara
to
only
pass
stops
this
for a
quarterback.
while, then you can
You
move,
got
so
any
don't worry about
suggestions?
Zip.
Anything to distract him?
I got a suggestion.
All you
right
need here is the cloth.
Go find a different way out, because you don't want to know what happens when you make the Hulk mad.
Indispensable information as always.
That face ain't got armor on it, right? Well, that's how you're gonna...
Okay, you can sprint through here, he's not gonna hear you. We once again interrupted Zip, which I consider a bonus, honestly. Let's go all around the room over here. And set the access card over here, and you'll notice something interesting. Like I said before, even though I only told you, I didn't really show you, you have limited amount of time after you enter this room before those terrariums will shatter on their own. So quickly grab, ideally the closer locker's chloroform model. And now we can already combine. Now we have chloroform soaked cloth, and we need to sneak up behind the power armor guy, because their face is exposed for both headshots and chloroform, apparently. I still don't know how Lara embraces such a huge body frame. Ouch! From the back. That means the terrariums have shattered. So you roughly know what the time limit is. This one didn't shatter, but it is strangely empty anyway. It's a bit odd. This is a bug they haven't fixed since, but look at this cutscene. And something I want to show you, we are at 45 kills. With this, we still will be. There we go, and we are at 45 kills. Yep, this is why I didn't use this technique in our all kills run. It really doesn't matter, and actually alerting him summons the other power armor guy, although you can still fire off a few shots into this empty room, trigger the music cue, and that guy is gonna appear nevertheless, so it's entirely up to you. Okay guys, if you forgive me, this is where I'm actually gonna save. And we practice. Oh shoot, I messed up. Again. Only perfection will do, Miss Croft. No, okay. We need to be absolutely sure we don't fail the achievement. Do it before he fires off a single bullet. Because our shots are silenced, his ones aren't. But it's quite possible that even if you take damage from this guy, the game's gonna consider it being unnoticed. I don't bloody know how this works. This single corridor, in my eyes, means the achievement should be impossible, but no. Okay. Fine. I'm not gonna complain about an achievement working at all rather than not working at all. Anywho, let's wait for this fella over here. Like I said, he does not see us through the windows. As far as his AI is concerned, these are solid walls. Excellent. And now we can creep up behind him. And we'll again use the same ramp, the same hidey hole to get past. As soon as he turns the corner, I think we can move a bit faster, and just to be absolutely sure, let's go into this corner and crouch down, and in theory, he should not even see us here. Okay. Okay, Lara, go, 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 go. Excellent.
Now this ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah, Zip,
This
same cutscene as
door
before,
operates on
and
that
just aim at
pass
this
you got,
fella,
except it needs two
and this is gonna be
inserted at the
merciful Lara
same
cutscene.
Sweet dreams.
Lara talking like Devil May Cry's Dante over there. Anyway, see, we are in this middle floor room, and now we can just go for the lever, get down quickly so it doesn't fry us. This is my favorite sequence, and now just cut the corners without sprinting and transition into a sprint as you cut this one. Couldn't be easier. Excellent, we didn't even get stuck there. Pick up the iris, and let's see if we indeed completed Mission Impossible. Yes! Haha! Get through the 13th floor level unnoticed. My friends, we pulled this off. We have absolutely mastered this level. Or have we? I mean, there's always New Game Plus video coming. Anywho guys, thank you so much for being with me on this journey. I hope you found the guide for all the achievements useful, and I'm not gonna say farewell before I say thanks to my absolutely amazing patrons. Blangoople, Mick, Severin Drex, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Pooh2, Basic Bryony, Bino, and Alex Clark. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons and for picking up your mop and bucket and scrubbing the floors clean after all the bloodshed left by Lara. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Karavetu, Reniga Attorney, Blanket Fox, Dig the Bee, PD92, and Akires. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel and also for lending Lara your old Timex watch, a relic from a very dark era of Tomb Raider's history. Nevertheless, this helped her be punctual. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander, and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel and also for renting Lara your old World War II era glider. It might not be pretty and it might have a few holes in it, but it did the job, and just look how cool Lara looks under that moonlight. And finally, I would like to give one very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, and you all know who, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and incredibly generous support of the channel, and also thank you for passing on your skill of staying perfectly still to all the scientists working their shifts on 13th and 16th floors. After Lara's rampage, playing dead is what kept them all alive, and as a result, no workers were harmed in making of this video. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to each and every one of you for making it towards the end of today's episode. So guys, what did you think of 13th floor? Was it the nightmare fuel level that everyone would have you believe? Or do you consider it just a very casual preparation for the actual nightmare levels ahead? I'll let you be the judges of that. Nevertheless, I hope the video was useful. Oh, and whilst putting together the video, I noticed one fun fact. Our ammo used in-game statistic has actually increased by 10, which doesn't make any sense. Using all three firing modes, sniper, burst and rapid, with each we fired more than 10 bullets. I went back and checked the footage. So I, to this day, don't really know what caused the increase in ammo used, but I guess it's safe to say we'll see the same phenomenon happening in the next and in the final level. But my point still stands, ammo use statistic is obsolete in the New York chapter of the game. And I learned via the consequences of young Lara not having any guns. Okay, just wanted to share that observation. Nevertheless guys, if you need help or if you are gonna get stuck due to a bug I haven't encountered that you are, then drop a comment in the section below and all of us will try to help you. That's what this community is here for. And until I'll see you again, escaping with the Iris, I want to wish all of you happy raiding.